Aloha Stampers, I'm Cheryl Hamilton, and today I'm excited to show you my favorite kind of card to make. It's called a card in a box, and you have probably seen these. They're always different. Let me see, here's what it looks like when you get it in the mail. You have to make your own envelope because it's a little bit larger than the regular size, but it opens up like this. Where's the back? Here it is. And it's just a really cute 3D display that anybody's gonna love. It's really fun. And so stay tuned. I'm gonna walk you through step by step of how this is made. I'm gonna start with a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. And I'm cutting it 12 inches by 8.5. Then I'm going to score it. So I'm grabbing my Simply Scored board. I'm going to lay it horizontally and make sure that it is flush against the left side and the top, so it's really straight. I'm going to score it at 2 3/4, 5.5, 8 1/4, and at 11. Okay, and then I'm going to cut off a strip. I'm going to bring my cutter back, and I'm cutting off a 2-inch strip along the long side here. And you just keep that because you're going to do something with it a little bit later. So I'm just going to hang on to it. Back to my scoreboard. And I'm gonna turn it, let me see, no I'm not. The small 1-inch edge up here is at the top, and I'm gonna score it at 2 3/4. Okay, and then I am gonna cut all of these. See the lines that are, there's squares at the bottom, and at the top they're rectangles. So you are going to cut the lines going up to the score line that crosses them on all the squares, okay? So I'm just cutting, I'm just using bigger scissors to make it faster. So there's 1, 2, let me see if I can make it so you can see it. Sorry, it's really hard to get the lighting right. 3, and the last one, this little, whenever you have a little strip that's skinny, you know, this is probably the part that's going to glue together to make the box. So I'm cutting it up to there, but then I'm going to cut an angle, just like that, okay? And you're going to discard this little piece. So I'm using paper from this really pretty product medley. It's in the mini catalog on page 7, and it's called Most Wonderful Time. And the papers are beautiful because they have gold in them, and they're just really pretty images. It also comes with like stickers and little stars, some garland. And then if you get the whole suite, you'll also get a stamp set and die cuts. So it's one of my favorite ones, really cute. And I'll show you what I've done next. So the first thing is you're gonna wanna cut out a long one, and it's basically gonna go, see how the back, I have something sticking straight up. It's a longer piece of designer series paper. And my directions say to cut it at 2.5 by 6 1/4. I wanted to use this gold paper for the background. And the trouble is it's not 6 1/4 long. It's a lot shorter. In fact, I don't even think it's 6. What is it? It's 5 1/2. So I decided to use it. And the trick is, if you're using 6 by 6 paper or something a little shorter, just make sure that you push it up towards the top. Nobody's ever going to see what's way down in there for the bottom. Okay, I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about. So if you have 6 by 6 paper or something a little bit smaller, just make sure it's up at the top and has a nice 1/8 inch border around there, and nobody will see it. So that's that piece of paper. I'm cutting 3 squares, and those are cut at 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. And then I'm cutting 3 rectangles. These are 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. Okay, the rectangles are going to be at the bottom of your card. They're not going to show quite as much. The thing that's going to show the most is your little squares. So I'm a very visual person. I don't like reading directions. I like looking at pictures. So I'm gonna, on my tutorial that I have printed out, I just basically look at the 2 pictures I have that show how the Designer Series paper is lined up. So I'm gonna show you on this video what I do. Make sure that it's laid out like this. You want on your left side, you want this little flap, okay? And on the top, you're going to have your squares. So just if you're laid out like that, that's the way to start. Now on the left, you're going to use whatever your long piece was. And again, see how it doesn't quite fit in here. I am going to place it up to where, you know, the borders around here look even. And then I'm going to take, this is not the best example because it's hard to see if there's an up or down, but there kind of is. So normally you would think like this. Let's say that this is the top because of the bow. Normally you'd think you're going to put them like that. Don't do that. It's wrong. The top goes towards the score line, okay? So just lay it out and stare at it a couple of times. Make sure you've got it right before you glue. So I'm saying, what's the top? I'm going to do this one. And like I said, this one to me doesn't really have a definite top and bottom. You can kind of go anyway. I don't know. Okay, I'm happy. So let me go over this again. This piece isn't quite long enough. You're putting it towards the top because that's going to show your 3 squares. You don't want the top at the place you've cut off. You want the top of your Designer Series paper to be at the score line. Okay, I think you guys have got that. So I'm going to glue these down. It's funny, I need background music or something because I'm not a talker when I'm doing this, or I'll end up doing stuff wrong. It's like when I drive and I'm talking with my girls or something, you never know where I'm going to end up, but something goes into automatic and I end up, you know, at the coffee store or their school or whatever. So that's why I don't talk too much. Okay. There it is. So I'm really happy with that. And then for the 3 rectangles now, to do that, you are going to turn it over, and you want the back side, and you're going to have the flap or whatever you want to call it that you're going to put your tape on the right bottom. Okay. This one, you don't put anything on. So it's real important you know, pay attention to this. So this is on the right bottom. This one is blank. And then I'm doing these 3. Again, if you have an up or down on your Designer Series paper, it's also called DSP, just in case I ever say that. If you have an up or down, This one, the top does go at the score line, okay? So this is the top up here, if you have something with a direction to it. One. Okay. There you go. And now I'm going to score it. And the one thing you want to be aware of is that I don't really want to score where I don't want to score along this line here where I have my big image that's going to stick up and back. So I'm just going to fold sideways and score there. And then I'll worry about folding these down later. Now this is the outside where I have my 3 rectangles. So just put it together and make sure it looks right before you glue it, okay? So I don't want the flap to be on the outside because that is not pretty. So I'm gonna make sure that I put glue and it goes like that. So put it together, hold it up, and then you're gonna take this. I'm gonna use Tombow because I have it right here. You can use any kind of, this is where it's good to use this Stamp and Seal Plus because it's really strong for boxes, but I'll just do this. If you have the Stamp and Seal Plus, put it on the edge closer to the fold line or put a couple of strips on it. It would be good. The other thing is most people, I'll see them holding it in the air and struggling with it. If you've done it correctly, you don't need to do that. You just lay it flat on your surface and guide it right into, and it'll go right where it's supposed to be. And it's just much easier. So there it's glued together. Let me put this on. Okay, and when you open it, then you can fold down your flaps like that, okay? And you can make them go down further. You'll be mailing it or giving it flat in a box, so you'll be working with this a lot. But there's your basic box. 2 more things to do, and then you can really start the fun, okay? Remember these 2 little strips. Okay, so they have score lines along the sides. And again, use either, if you have tear and tape, or if you have, I'm going to use Tombow, but you got to be careful you don't get it on stuff. So I'm going to put my I'm going to squeeze it in here and put the 2 edges touching the back and just glue it on. And it makes a little, see how the edge touches the back side there? And this is going to be a neat place where you can put stuff popping up on. And then we have room to do 1 more at the front. Without getting glue on stuff. So it might be better to use tear and tape. Or Stamp and Seal Plus, I would use. Okay, now I'm ready for the fun part. I think you guys all were able to follow those directions, hopefully. And now we get to add all our stuff to it. So now for the fun part, I'm gonna start by decorating the back of my card. And I've used, this is from Most Wonderful Time stamp set. And I've stamped the tree onto soft sea foam and then cut it out. And I'm going to decorate the tree with my Star Designer Elements for a star. And then I'm just going to put a bunch of pretty sparkles on it, or pretty, all different colored, like ornaments all over it. I'm using my Take Your Pick tool to pick these up. They have a glue dot on the back of them, so it makes it really easy to just grab it and it stays on there. It's really, I think it's hard to just pick up with your fingers and make it go in the right place. These are really pretty. So again, these are called Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels. Number 150457. Oh, that's bigger. Let me see. Okay, I like that. So I'm gonna put it on the back of my, I lost my box. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm trying to put it on the back here, and I wanted to pop it up with dimensionals. And I could just put it like that. It's really pretty, but I think I have these stickers in here of these deer, and I think I'm gonna stick a deer peeking behind it. Let me just do that one. So I pull off the sticker. I'm gonna decide where I want it exactly. I think that'll work. So that's stuck on. There we go. Oh, that's so cute. They've also got, I mean, it's hard to stop. They've got all this fun stuff. Here's a star. I'm just going to put it up there. Everyone turns out differently because you'll think of other ideas as you're going. It's stuck to me. Just a second. Let me see. I have something for the front that I already prepped. Now this was, I did May Your Days Be Merry and Bright, and found this in a set called Wrapped in Christmas. Actually, the Surround Yourself in the Love of the Season would also fit and be really nice. So, but I'm just going to glue it. I cut out these with Layering Circles dies. And so it had this one. This was a little scallop circle with real red, so you can barely see it, but it's a nice contrast. And then I'm going to stick it onto gold foil. And I'm going to pop that up. So you guys know to use all the edges of your dimensionals, right? Don't throw anything away. I just cut them into little pieces. And here's a new one. Ooh, maybe I should do some ribbon under there. Let me go get some. I'm going to see if this works, putting some ribbon on there. So I stuck a glue dot down and get more of these. Trying to see if there's a right or wrong side. I don't think so. Oh, okay, let me see that. And then I'll just see how it looks. I can always take it off if I don't like it. I'm going to put a couple more glue dots. Ooh, that's going to be cute. Okay. Yeah, so there's the front and the back. Let me cut out a few more things. Oh, actually, I wanted to put one of these on the deer for like a... just to look like he has bells or something around his neck. Or her neck. It looks like a girl. So these are from the stickers again. I think they're just berries, but... where's that tool? Here it is. See, so I put a little necklace on her. I'm going to take this opportunity to show you guys how to use the Stamparatus. And because I really wish I would have done this yesterday in class. I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't even think of it till at the very end. But these presents, see these cute little presents right there? Those are a stamp from Most Wonderful Time. It stamps 3 gifts, and then it also stamps the ribbons on top, and it cuts them out. It was hard to line up the gifts exactly with the ribbons, so I'm going to show you how I do this. I use a grid paper. I always take some paper. I have a bunch of these squares left over from something. So I just put, I mark on my grid paper where I want my paper to go. And then I put my magnet there. Okay, so I lined up some presents. Okay, so these are the gifts. And when I do the Stamparatus, I prefer to use Stampin' Spots because they're not as messy. And you will see what I mean in a second. But these I get mostly from Paper Pumpkin. You can also order them. And you guys might not know this, but you can order blank spots and use your own re-inkers to make the colors you want. Okay, hang on. I'll get it open. Okay, I'm using Pear Pizzazz because I had one of these. That's my only reason, and I think it'll go fine. And I'm stamping my image that's lined up on the Stamparatus, okay? So when I put it down, I just press it, come back up, and actually I think I'm happy with that. So here's the thing. We couldn't, I hope this is clean. That looks pretty good. Okay, so it was hard to line up just using blocks. And so let's see if I can do it with this. So here's where you use your Stamparatus. You place it exactly where you think it should go. Looks pretty, and that's way better, I think. Okay, and then you're gonna, I'm gonna use the other plate on the side, and I'm gonna pick it up, you have to go kind of slow, press on it, and I don't want to move, I'm going slow because I don't want to move the position of my paper, and it's still moving. Shoot, because I had it, so I don't know if this is going to be perfect now. Darn, I should have had this way more up there. Here's the trick. I'm going to use Real Red, a big stamp pad. This stuff makes such a mess, and yesterday, I still have it all over my hands. In class, it came apart, and you guys know how that is, because it's so hard to get back together, and, oh, you can't see it, I'm sorry. Let me scoot stuff over a bit. So here I go. I didn't make too much of a mess because sometimes it'll get around the edge there. Okay, so let's see what happens if I got it lined up correctly. Oh no, it's off. Come on, Cheryl. It usually works really well. It's just that my magnet was too far down. I think it's still off. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Okay, but you guys get the idea of how to use this, and look, it's really perfect. There you go, you guys from class yesterday. That's how it should be done. And then I'm gonna punch it out, do a couple more things. I want to show you how I put some of the things on the inside, and I had Peace on Earth that I cut out with a little word bubble from the set that has the squirrels and raccoon in it. I'll put it on the video. I can't remember what it is, but I like that word bubble. And Peace on Earth came from Wrapped in Christmas. It's one of those neat sentiments. And then I just got this Dove of Hope, and I thought that's kind of perfect if I can do a dove saying Peace on Earth. I stamped it, cut it out with detailed dove dies just now. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to stick it on here. Okay, so I cut out some little slivers of, I can't see it, can you? It's a window sheet, and I just cut them 1/4 inch and probably a couple of inches long, and made a few strips like this. And I'm going to use glue dots to stick them on here. Now, this dove, I've colored it with some green blends and a yellow beak. And to grab a glue dot, you just like press down on it, and where's the thing? It picks up the glue dot like that. I wanted it to be sticking up somehow so I could put Peace on Earth up here. Okay, that'll work. So let me grab another one for the top. I'm putting one on the bottom because I want to see it's just kind of arrange it like you want. See, I think that's cute. So that's kind of the main thing I wanted sticking up. And then I have my presents. I did some, I did them with the Stamparatus, and then did some in red, some in green. So I have a little variety. I cut one out just of the paper, added a star. I thought that was kind of cute. So I'm gonna add some with glue dots, and I'll show you some of it, and then I'll show you the finished product. So let me think. I put a little glue dot on the bottom, and I'm just going to put it, you don't want sticky stuff behind here because your card is going to close like this and send. So you don't want it to all stick together when you send it. Let's do... Just to make it look different, I'm going to put this present on the back. You know, so you're just trying to make it a little different. So I'll come back in a second and show you the finished product. Okay, so I finally finished. Here's my finished product. Let me see. You get it like this, open it up, and here it is. I added a dove. It's saying peace on earth. And I do like the ribbon under here. There's just so much you can do. I'll take pictures of the other ones because it's I think they're kind of hard to see on video, but I'll show you just some different ideas that I came up with. So before I go, I want to show you how to make an envelope for these. A lot of you have the envelope punch board, and it's not available now, but if you have it, I just wanted to give you a refresher course on how to make an envelope. So when I fold this flat, it's the card measures about 6 by 7. It's a little bit less than that. So I'm looking on my board and I go to card size, and you look down here, here's 6 by 7 way towards the bottom. And it's telling me that to make an envelope, I need to have my paper 10 1/4 by 10 1/4. So I have cut one right here, 10 1/4. And then the third thing it tells you is that the score line needs to be 4 3/4. So for the envelopes, I'm lining it up, making sure that it's flush against the top edge, putting the left end right here at where it says 4 3/4. So I'm going to put my scoring tool. It goes in the right side of that little puka right there. Sorry, it's a puka is whole, in case you guys aren't from Hawaii. And so you score and do a punch, and then you just turn it counterclockwise. And I'm not gonna look at this 4 3/4 anymore. What I'm looking at is the score line. And I don't think you can see it, but see there it is. See how the score line, and I want to put the little pointer right in the score line right there. Okay, so that's what I'm going for. And I'm going to score again and punch. Again, I'm putting the point, it's called a score guide. Putting the score guide right in the score line, and I'm scoring, punching. I'm going to do it one more time. Score, punch, and I'm basically done. I want to make the corners look a little bit prettier, so I'm putting them in the top. And this is a really good corner rounder, if you guys have forgotten about this. Okay, so it just rounds off some nice corners like that. And to put it together, you just start folding, folding some edges in like this. Put that up, and where's some glue? I'm just going to use Tombow again. Now, if I put glue on this bottom edge and did it all the way around, then the tip right here is gonna be sticky onto my envelope. So I'm just gonna put that was too much. A little bit of glue there and there, and shut it. And then I can fold one of my cards like this. That's better. You don't really want stuff sticking out, so slide it in and just glue the top edge. I'll probably put some kind of sticker on this. Isn't that fun? They'll know it's something good. And then last time I mailed one of these card in a boxes, it was 2 ounces, so I used a 2-ounce stamp. And that's it. So thank you so much for watching this long tutorial. I hope that it really explained it well, and I hope you guys give it a try. Okay, aloha.